WNST in Baltimore and as well as our friends at Royal Farms, Real Fresh, Real Fast, and the Maryland Jockey Club. Luke Jones on Radio Row, along with one of your chemo sobbies. We got a Baltimore guy here. He's trying to get it done for the Lions right now, but you'll always be a Baltimore guy, Brandon Copeland.
Right about that.
What's going on, man? How are you?
I'm doing well. I can't complain. I'm enjoying the spectacle that is the Super Bowl Radio Row, but happy to be with you guys. Happy to see familiar faces.
I can remember the last time I talked to you was at Gilman back in June. I think it was 95 degrees, and it's 5 degrees right now in Minneapolis. So a little different setting,
yeah, man.
Brandon Copeland.
We all elements. We brave them all for you guys, you know.
How you feeling, man? I mean, you know, not the year you wanted to have. Obviously, you want to get injured, but how you feeling now? Getting back on?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. Get cleared probably a couple weeks from now type of thing. So I'm fully feeling great. Like I said, just gaining strength back and gaining that mental confidence back. And that's kind of the biggest issue with these type of things. And it's been, obviously, like you said, not the year that I quote-unquote wanted to have, but it's also everything happens for a reason. I'm a strong believer in that. And I took a lot from this year. And I know that when I do get back, it's going to be I don't know if I can curse on here, but hell to pay for a lot of people, you know.
For fans who don't know, what is it like spending an entire year on IR? I mean, even with media, many times a player gets hurt, and like Marshall Yanda got hurt for the Ravens in week 2. I think I saw Marshall twice in the Ravens facility the rest of the year. Guy I normally see every day. So, you know, pull back the curtain a little bit, as much as you want to.
It's a different life, man.
And
totally different.
What's it like?
Totally different. I think there's layers to it. So, you know, the first layer is getting over the fact that, you know, something you've been working for your entire life, this entire year, this entire offseason was in a second taken away. So once you get over that fact, then you can get to the healing process and starting to mentally prepare yourself for the surgery. I had to have surgery, you know, prepare yourself for the surgery. And then I think you get to quote-unquote acceptance of, like, you know, it's not a bad dream. Like, you know, I might really have to have surgery, start this healing process. And hopefully for me, you know, obviously every Sunday was rough to watch. Every time you watch the Lions on Monday night or whatever, it was tough to watch, but it was also a great reflection time, a time for me to spend time with my family, a time for me to kind of take a step away from football. You know, at first, to be honest with you, I was watching every single film session. I was watching every single game and play-by-play, and I was like, I'm going to use this as a year to just completely dive in and become the biggest technician and educate myself and student of the game. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, it hurt too much to do that, to be honest with you. It was just like, you know. You
knew you weren't playing this week.
Exactly. It was like, you know, I knew I wasn't playing this week. I knew that I could be out there playing. This was the closest I had ever been to you know, starting in the NFL and having my dream come true. And so for me, also, it was a time where I realized that, hey, you know, it was a time in October, I was like, you know, it's been since the 4th grade that I have not been playing football in October. Enjoy it. You know, at a certain point, it's like,
next 10 years, you want to be playing, right?
Exactly. So let me go ahead and completely cut the curtain, you know, stay involved as much as I can with my team. My brothers know that I'm supporting them and stuff like that. The team knows I love them. I'm supporting those guys. But at the end of the day, let me be all in with my family right now, because when I do go back in April, I'm going to be all in football. And, again, that's what I'm excited about. I'm going to literally be foaming at the mouth. And if I was half in, half out throughout the year, I think it would have been too much for me emotionally. But then also it wouldn't have given it the break that it deserved, so that when I do come back, I'm just a complete animal, you know?
Well, when this thing happens to you, I'm sure there's plenty of people around you. You knew you played in the league long enough, something's going to happen to you. Yep. Who do you reach to psychologically who's been through this? Because as he's pointed out, Marshall Yanda this year, and he'd be a great example of a guy that never missed time, right? Like, that's got to be driving him nuts. Right. Flacco had the same reputation of never missing a game, and then all of a sudden he's in a knee brace. Everybody has to adjust to that, and you don't ever want to get used to that if you're a guy who gets injured more often than that. But if it happens to you, right on, when it happens, we all know, and then the first time it happens, there is that psychological part of, let me find somebody that had this happen to them and figure out how the hell you get through this.
Exactly. And I think I was fortunate enough to have a bunch of people reach out in that moment. I'm sure other players go through it as well, and a bunch of people text and call and email and send you messages on Instagram and stuff, and a bunch of guys actually who had, I remember one in particular, a guy, Rob Sims, former Detroit Lion, we've become close over the last couple years, and he said, hey, like, I tore my pec such and such time in my career. I played 5 years strong after that, and I felt stronger. Haloti Ngata, you know, big bro, he came. I tore my pec. He tore it when he was in Baltimore at the end of one of the seasons, I believe, and came back next year. He's like, you know, it doesn't bother me at all right now. We got guys on my team who come back from the same injury, and I think that's what you kind of lean on is I pick those guys' brains. Like, hey, like, what did you do in this phase, this 4 to 6 week phase? What did you do 2 to 3 months? How did you stay in shape? Were you know, what did you do mentally, you know? And so, you know, you just kind of pick the brains of some people, but then you also kind of, you know, I remember watching, reading the tweet or that Kobe Bryant sent to Gordon Hayward, you know, like that alone is motivation to me, and a lot of lessons can be taken in that. So you kind of find your motivation in a bunch of different places. Every day you kind of understand that every day it's like, you know, like your job here, like every day is not going to be the same. Something's going to be thrown at you, and you just got to take it, deal with it, and figure out how to move forward. But you know, I got some great motivation coming up in April, and I've been motivated this entire season to get back and get playing. So,
what's your latest off-field venture? I mean, we know you've worked on Wall Street. For our listeners not familiar, you went to Gilman, you went to Penn, Wharton Business School. I mean, you're an impressive guy. You are the definition.
Newlywed.
And a newlywed. You
right
are the definition of someone who's not just a football player.
Yeah.
You know, what's the latest thing you've been working on off the field?
Yeah, so I actually, my wife and I got to get out of the
Is it weird saying that?
Yeah, I used to saying fiance. We just got married on Friday, so it's really new. So yeah,
he's my Facebook friend. I saw him. I'm like, what the hell are you doing here? You just got married.
Yeah, he took his honeymoon.
I left already.
Honeymoon in Minneapolis. No,
exactly. So we go on the honeymoon on Monday actually, but we started some real estate companies, and we have some rentals, we have some flip properties, and this off season, not off season. It feels like off season, but the entire real season was a good time for us to kind of get acquainted with that, try to build
not off season, season off.
Yeah, season off, exactly. Yeah, try to get acquainted with that, and hopefully get that in a good place where now when I go back to football, I can just let it grow, you know, let it work itself into something. I was very interested in trying to find something that can bring me residual income when football stops. Sure. And so for me, doing flip properties where I'm in and out of something was able to help teach me more about real estate, so that when I'm trying to buy something to rent it out and I have to hold it, hopefully I go into those properties a little bit smarter or a little bit more knowledgeable. So we started with some flips, then we got into some rentals, and now we're, you know, trying to build a little real estate empire, and hopefully that's one of the tranches of things. I'm also getting into actually a Baltimore-based company. I'm also with a couple other players getting into this company called Mixed River. I actually got to bring them by to show you guys some of the stuff that they're doing sometime. It's pretty cool stuff, and we think it's like the next level of film. It's mixed reality stuff, so we think it's the next level of film watching, training, all of that type of stuff. So it's some very, very cool stuff that we're trying to get into, but you know, in a second here, it's really all focus on football and you know, kicking somebody's tail.
You're looking forward to year 3 of Beyond the Basics? I have to tell us a quick story about this. You know, I mean, so many different players run camps, and it's great, but some players aren't quite as hands-on, and that's great. I mean, if you have the resources to have people that you trust to handle it, I mean, that's, God bless them. They're still making a difference. But I remember the first year, you were sending out emails just to media members. I mean, you did all of the PR work, so to speak, yourself. And when I met you at Gilman last year, Brandon Copeland, NFL star, was counting tables and counting chairs in the cafeteria just to make sure they had everything.
Control.
I mean, it's just. But I wanted to give you a chance to talk about year 3 of the camp, because I know you're doing great work. Having it at Gilman again this year?
Yes, we are.
Cool. And we're going to be promoting it again this year.
I
How about
appreciate that. There we go. Gilman again this year, Saturday, July 7th. That's the actual first announcement of it. It's not really technically public yet, but now
72
it's public.
That
it is
day,
now.
Right. Make sure, right? You know that weather.
Hopefully, Hopefully we had sunshine the last 2 years, so hopefully year 3 is the same. But last year, I mean, it was something pretty special, to be honest with you. I mean, to look back on that, and we had the camp. We had over 200 kids come out, free camp. We gave away every kid some Under Armour cleats. We had the first 30, 40 minutes of the camp was community service, so all of the kids participated in putting together 500 book bags and 500 hygiene and toiletry kits to be passed out within Baltimore. So awesome. You have a camp of kids helping give back to their own community. And the biggest surprise / the biggest thing that actually touched my heart was the fact that we had guys, Under Armour sponsored our camp, so every kid got a free pair of cleats. And a couple kids came up at the end of the camp was like, hey, man, like, to be honest with you, I really don't need a new pair of cleats. I have them. My parents have the means. But my teammate, he would really probably
he needs a
appreciate
size 9.
This. Yeah.
I'm an 11. That's awesome.
Yeah. And like,
totally awesome.
Then they would take pictures of it, send it to me on Facebook and all that type of stuff.
That's cool.
And I was, me at 12 years old, if you give me a free pair of cleats,
I want the new shoes.
I'm keeping the cleats. I don't care if I got to keep them in my closet for years until I wear them. Those are my cleats. So to see something like that that's what makes us understand that, like, what we're doing is actually having an impact. And hopefully it's a long-term impact, but having an impact on the minds of the youth. And teaching them, like, hey, you guys, let's build up Baltimore together, So
I'm going to vote for you for mayor 2032 when you're ready.
Right, when I'm ready, when I give me a little facial hair.
You know what, man? You run for mayor. I'll be your side, right?
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Hey, let's do it.
And we'll just get poop done.
Yeah, get it all done. We need to,
All the love, Brandon Copeland, a former Raven, now with the Lions, and restricted free agent.
Restricted, yeah. It always put some restrictions on you once in a while, but excited nonetheless.
Who's going to win the game? You pulling for the Eagles because you got some boys there?
You know what? I am pulling for the Eagles. I will go ahead and say that. I will never bet against Tom Brady and the Patriots. I would never bet against Belichick, but I love Green
Ravens, right?
It's Ravens, a Green Raven has to be the cousin of an Eagle.
I feel like Saturday ESPN College Game Day.
There you go. It looked like just signing day right there. He just pulled out his hat.
Yeah.
But also the Eagles, they look like they're having a lot of fun. And obviously Torrey Smith, the big bro, he comes out to the camp and supports the kids. So
we gave him some love earlier in the week. We saw Torrey.
I heard.
Torrey looks calm, right?
Yeah.
Torrey's calm.
They look ready.
He's been there before.
It's Tom Brady and the Patriots, but that team, they look ready and they look relaxed. Their demeanor and some of the stuff I've seen throughout the week does remind me a little bit of how the Ravens handled themselves 5 years ago.
It was chill.
Nice.
It was chill up in there.
Nice. So,
Nick Foles.
Yeah, he's been – I don't know why people doubted him, to be honest with you.
A
guy with experience, they acted like he was like, the third-string guy from – University of Pennsylvania coming up there. No.
Now, when Matt Patricia allegedly sometimes maybe in the future takes his game, I'm not telling you root against Patriots now.
Hey, you know. I tell him it's business. Tell him,
he's not the official head coach.
Right,
yet.
you can't,
allegedly, as rumored, and read it on the internet.
For the last few weeks.
And you know what you say? Well, I didn't have a contract for 2018 yet, so there you go.
Hey, we talking numbers now,
July 7th today. Tell everybody where to find all the information. Not everybody's your Facebook friend, just a lot of people. But where's all the information for you?
You can find more information as we start to post it. We haven't posted anything yet, but on my Instagram at bcope, BCP. At bcope, BCOPE 51. Or on my Facebook page, Brandon Copeland, is where you can find all the information. And we're going to have a great day as usual, and can't wait to see you guys.
You're one of Luke's favorites, so if you're he keeps good company.
There we go.
He's got his standards are higher than mine.
even though I'm always on vacation during the camp, so he always gives me grief about that.
He's eating that pizza down in Wildwood, and
Wildwood's my place, man.
Right.
He's not thinking about you. He's thinking about
not thinking about the kids.
Thinking about Max Pizza.
I know.
He's thinking about.
The pizza's better than the kids.
I'll be at Pizza John's down in Essex. That's where I'll be. They've closed that week too, though. That's their
true,
down
first week of July.
That's why you leave.
That is why I leave.
You can't get Pizza John's.
Because I can't get Pizza John's. Any other time, I'm at Pizza John's.
Hey, man, good luck. Get straight, all right?
I appreciate you.
One of our favorites, Brandon Copeland, joining us here. Gilman, Baltimore, all that good stuff. You can find him out on Instagram and learn about his camps on July 7th. We're at the Mall of America in Bloomington, Minnesota, where the sun is not blooming. It's about 5 below right now, and I'm freezing my boobies off. And it's can't wait to get home. It's dry here. We are WNST.net, AM 1570, WNST Taos in Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.